This playthrough is rated E for everyone.
This is a historic land, a land where from time immemorial ancient legends have been passed down from generation to generation. Some, in order to gain fame and fortune, have visited this land to fulfill their dreams. A few realized their ambitions, most were ruined. People call this land Elemen. Hi viewers, or HAL viewers, greetings and salutations viewers. Vauldemare here with a new game from library. This time it's Arcana, or Cardmaster, as it was known in Japan. This is a game from, well, kind of like my childhood. I rented it at a Blockbuster when I was younger. I never beat it the first time I played the game, because dungeon crawler RPGs like this one are definitely a weird breed when it comes to me because they have that weird difficulty, even though this game overall isn't super difficult, but it's one of those it's always hard to wrap my head around despite me playing like Eye of the Beholder and games like that. But ended up playing it again years later, finding it for, I think I found it like a Funko Land or something like that and bought it for my collection finally. But yeah, this is HAL America, the same people that did Kirby. This is, I think they're only, well, other than, I'm trying to think if this is their only really major RPG outing, at least of this type anyway. But anyway, let's start the game and then I can go over the game controls after that. So, time to start our journey. According to the ancient legends, men of valor established 6 kingdoms on the island of Elements. Disputes broke out constantly among these 6 kingdoms, but if you look at the history of the land, you can see that they were treated as minor matters by the people of these kingdoms. But in time, these seemingly minor disputes spilled over and became as a storm over the land. Eventually, the conflicts spread out over the whole island, with each of the 6 kingdoms fighting for control of the island. This continued on for many years. The cities were turned to ruins, and the countryside was laid to waste. I love the music in this game, by the way. Byzance was the capital and the largest city in Wexford. Galneon, one of the court magicians, launched a coup against King Wagnall. Galneon? You mean Galleon? No, that's a different game. King Wagnall was killed in the conflict, and the evil Galneon ascended to the throne. In the conflict, the king's 2 daughters disappeared. Their whereabouts is still unknown. Wait, is that Kirby? Yeah, it's Kirby. Yeah, in the little, that scene right there. 10 years have passed since this event. Yeah, I think, actually, this is the first appearance of Kirby. Like, this came out before. Anyway, we start the game in Chapter 1. The journey begins, obvious. But yeah, this is the first appearance of Kirby, because Kirby for the Game Boy hadn't released yet. So, a little in-stream bit of trivia. And you'll find out why this game is called Cardmaster. The days passed peacefully, Rooks, living in the village of Gallia. His parents had long ago passed on to the next world. Well, you aren't a JRPG protagonist if you have both parents, apparently. But during this time of the rebellion, his parents and a few soldiers led the townspeople out of the village into the woods to await reinforcements. In the meantime, a friend of Rook's father betrayed the survivors, leading to the unfortunate demise of Rook's parents. Taking the final magic card left him by his parents, Rooks began training every day to learn the way of the card masters. Is this a card game where it's like for children and yet somehow they have weird stakes like pharaohs and 5,000-year-old destiny like Shadow Realm and all that crazy stuff? No, it's not that crazy. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh was a weird series, especially if you read the manga as opposed to the anime. But anyway, all right, yeah, it's called Cardmaster mainly because of the well, as you can see, there's a card motif in this whole game. Right now we play as Sylph and Rooks here. Rooks is the main character, and Sylph is our spirit companion. Spirits are, basically there's 4 of them in the course of the game, spoilers. 1 for each major element, and they assist us throughout the whole game. But I'll go over that when we actually get into combat and stuff like that. Perhaps we should leave. You look healthy. What? Who's there? That's my line. Ariel? Is that you, Ariel? I thought that was supposed to be a mermaid. I haven't seen you since you were a boy. Yes. What happened? Have you been avoiding me? Didn't our fathers fight together as knights of Wexford? But your father and Galneon. I have a different opinion from my father. Yes, but let's not discuss that. Who is the girl? Ooh, a cutie. She is Tifa, my apprentice. Is she gonna roundhouse kick me into oblivion? No, that's a different franchise. Never mind. And it's not spelled the same. The pleasure's mine. There's something important I want you to do for me. What? It's not just a coincidence that we meet today. Are you aware that dark spirits have arisen in Lexford? I saw the cutscene, yeah. Yes. I've been trying to find the reason for this. If there is chaos at the temple in Balnia, it would seem that they are being summoned there. Then at whatever cost, we must seal the passageway. The only one who can do that is you, Rooks. You are the only card master remaining. I'm the only one? How do you train for something when you're the only one? No, I guess it's possible, you know. Will you do it? Yes, I'll try. Do or do not. There is no try, young Skywalker. I mean, Rooks. Thank you, Rooks. We would be forever in your debt. I wish I could join you, but my destiny leads me elsewhere. Well, we can only have 4 party members anyway, so please take Tifa with you. Hey, gotta have a cute girl in every game, so yeah. I know the way to the temple. Oh, excellent. I'll leave it up to you, Rooks, card master. Anyway, Tifa joins the party. Yay! Yeah, so she joins the group, so we can, so we have a few options. Right now we're in Gallia, and we could leave into the dungeon, but we're not going to do that yet. You can look for characters, you can call. What that means is you can call your spirits. You can either call them active into battle or turn them out of battle. There might be reasons for you to do this depending on the battle situation. You got magic spells. For right now, Rooks doesn't have anything. Sylph will have something here pretty soon, but not right now. And same with Tifa. She'll eventually get magic. Eventually. Although Rooks is his main thing is physical attacks and the use of cards, and I'll go over that here in a second. Maybe we can also change our equipment, but as you can see, we really don't have anything. Yeah, attack of 3, defense of 7, attack of 3, defense of 16, and attack of 3, defense of 8. Unfortunately, the attack of your spirits is not going to change much throughout the game. They are not very good physical fighters. We got ability that shows off what our initial stats are, as you can see here. So satisfactory condition, and his attribute is man. Actually, man is a tribute in this game because there's elemental stuff and then there's neutral or man element, which is kind of weird to say. Man basically just means neutral element. That doesn't mean you're affected. Yeah, Sylph is wind, and Tifa is also man element. I don't know. It's just kind of her stats are better than mine, only by 1 point, but her HP isn't as good. So. There you go. And then we got color, which is, we can change, if you want to change like the color of your window here to make it more palatable for whatever. I'm more of a fan of blue myself. I'll change it up a bit I like blue color, it's calming. Yeah, equipment, we don't really have anything. Inventory, same thing, we don't have anything. You can either carry items or cards. Being a card master, well, we use those we also change our formation, which we can place characters in different orders. For the most part, formation really doesn't affect things in the game. Not too much anyway, not that I'm really aware of. But anyway, let's go through this door here. Welcome, what would you like? A conversation, please. Don't you have to pay for this stuff like that? It's just a rumor that the spirits are loose. Anything else? What about an elixir? Okay, so we can buy stuff like water, elixir, food, and stuff like that. And what they do is they heal a minimal amount of stuff. For the most part, I tend not to buy this stuff because we have other ways of spending our money. This will heal us ever so slightly. And I very rarely buy elixirs to carry in my inventory. Maybe a few rare instances, but thank you, please come again. If you want to buy stuff, they don't cost too much, but you do only have so much item inventory, so keep that in mind too. Alright, this is the item shop here. Or, sorry, weapon shop. Okay. Yeah, we can buy daggers, short swords, long swords. The broadsword! And then we can, oops. And then we can, let's see. And then we have, yeah, we've got staffs, whips, soft leather, hard leather. Oh, yeah, I guess I could read over them really quick. So, dagger, a short knife, short sword, the sword most often used by thieves. What? I like the short sword. You know, maybe maybe I don't want to, you know, maybe I want to use it and I'm not being a thief or whatever. So, but anyway. Long sword. The sword is most often used by knights and fighters. The broadsword, a heavy-bladed sword. I don't think anyone's going to get that reference on that one, but anyway. Got staff. Standard staff used to defeat easy enemies. Okay. Whip. That doesn't mean anything. That's just a just general description of things. Whip, a basic leather whip. Soft leather, a piece of armor. A light suit of armor made of pieces of soft leather glued together. Hard leather, set of armor made as leather as hard as turtle shell. Ring mail, early form of chain mail made of small metal rings sewn into leather armor. Got a robe, the robe generally worn by shamans and magicians. Small shield, a small shield used by emergencies. Well, yeah, I guess it's an emergency. Talisman, an accessory. A charm that will give them mental strength needed for battle. Yeah, that's so vague. Game, thanks for that. Okay, wait, I want to buy a, let's see. Let me see what I want to buy from. I know I want to buy a whip for Tifa, and then for my main character, so let's buy, I think I want to buy a short sword for him. Whoops, wrong button. So let's buy a short sword for him. So yeah, you can either trade in your old item for it or cash, which we don't have an old item, so, and then we'll do a whip for her. Armor is good, but at the beginning of the game, I would say armor is not as needed until later on. So for the beginning of the game, you can afford to not buy armor, but later on that'll be different, of course. All right, let's go to equipment, find the weapon, equipped the short sword to Rooks there, raise attack power to 21. And then for Tifa, she can use the whip. All right, Catwoman. But anyway, and then let's go in here, just to show it off. This is the fortune teller. You can either heal. What the healing is if your spirit card ever gets killed in battle, their character model actually gets ripped up like an actual card, which is kind of neat. But anyway, healing for 100 gold will resurrect her. So if if your companion goes out, you'll have to come back to town to heal them. Now, interesting thing about this game is that if your spirit companion dies, you can heal or whatever, or him. If a human character dies, doesn't matter who it is, it's game over. Yeah, it's kind of messed up that it can be any human companion. If they die, that's it. We can also buy cards here. What cards do is that you can use them in battle to cast elemental spells. So, and the way it works is you choose a card and then you choose how many of a card you want to do. And depending on how many cards you utilize, it'll activate that level of spell. So 1 wind card will cast Lightning 1, 2 wind cards will cast Lightning 2, and 3 wind cards will cast Lightning 3. So I want to buy, a couple of wind cards and water cards. Later on, we'll be buying a lot more cards. Right now, we don't have a ton of money to spend on stuff like that. But I want a couple for mainly for backup. Then we've got the inn here. Look at secret room. We don't need a room right now, so, but it's 30 gold, and we can also save our data. So we'll just save a file 1. All right. Yeah, good night's rest. And that's it. Let's go out here and start our first trek into the dungeon. And yeah, there's no overworld. It's just game. You go to town, go into the dungeon. It's like Shining in the Darkness. I might record that one of these days, but Shining in the Darkness is a little bit more difficult. It is heavily RNG based in terms of if you survive or not. So, all right, yeah, like most dungeon crawlers, all you can see is what is in front of you. So, and unfortunately, like a lot of dungeon crawlers, this one doesn't have a whole lot of. You'll have to pull out the pen and paper for this one type of situation. There's always a chance for random encounters. There are treasures in the dungeon, but treasures are not shown on the map ahead of time. You basically have to go. Oh, we got attacked. Yikes! But anyway, we find ourselves our first enemy in here. Goblins. Ah, you got a first strike on us. Is that the best you can do? Yeah, sometimes your allies will comment during the attack here. So, alright, so. Well, we don't have any spells or anything like that, so we just want to attack him. But right now, our first enemy here is a goblin. They can drop 4 experience, 6 gold, and they have 4 HP. Now, as you can see there, he's got a border around him, similar to our Sylph companion there. What that means is that the element is earth. So he will be affected more if you use elements that affect earth. So wind specifically is effective against earth. You do a bit. Let's see. You do full damage, which is a lot more than regular. So it's great. So you do full damage against enemy if you hit a wind spell against earth elemental. So earth, so if you use air on them, it's great against earth, but it's weaker to other elements. So this game is a little bit weird, like when it comes to some of the numbers, like if you get hit, if you have an element. Right now we're neutral, so actually perhaps I should fight this guy. He'll die in 1 hit. And the problem is that sometimes the game will turn you around, so And yeah, every time you shift your combat from like, if you're shift from like going left or right, that's considered a action or turn. So there's always a chance for you being attacked if you're facing a direction. You can kind of take advantage of that when it comes to certain situations. Yeah, right now we got a hound. You got to release the hounds on this guy. Okay, so the hound has drops 4 experience and 5 gold. And he's 10 HP, so he's a little bit more durable, but still, with the weapons we got, one shot. One shot. One man enters, one man leaves. But anyway. Alright. Let's go down this way. There's a couple of treasures we can grab while we're here. Oh, we got another new enemy here. Slimes. Alright, slimes have dropped 1 experience, 4 gold, and 3 HP, so really easy. Now, as you can see there's some... this game can have quite a few enemies on screen. I think it's like 7 or 8 or something like that. You can get a lot of enemies on screen at once. It can pretty much fill up the whole thing there. Enemies in the back have a little bit more defense than the ones in front, so usually I tend to, unless it's something crazy, I tend to just... Oh, he said, Rook said, is that the best you can do? I tend to, unless I got magic spells, which I don't have right now, I tend to defend with stealth unless enemies are super weak. I think at this point I could probably, yeah, see, it's only 1 damage even. If she probably attacked in the front, maybe it would be different. Yeah, she can sometimes defeat him. And there is, when I say the HP of an enemy, there can be a slight... Oh, we gained a level already. All of Rook's power has been increased. All of it? Anyways, gets 13 HP, 5 MP, 2 strength, 4 endurance, 5 intelligence, and 3 agility. And Sylph learns change attribute to win. Probably one of the most useful spells in the game, mainly because of when you learn it in the game as opposed to later in the game. So this will probably be the spell I use most. Just, at least until... about halfway through the game, and then we'll have other ways of taking advantage of that. So that's our first spell of the game. What change attribute to wind does is it changes your neutral characters into the element of wind. So if you're fighting earth elemental enemies, you'll want to do that because you'll do full damage to them as opposed to reduced damage as a neutral element. Oh, we got another new enemy here. Oh, these guys are rare to fight at this point. The Saurians. They have 6. They drop 6 experience, 15 gold, and they can have. Their HP is kind of weird because it can vary from like 6 to 15 or whatever, and so they're in the front. So obviously, we just want to tap the front there. Although it's a really necessary point to change tribute to. Oh, let's see. Since he's red elemental, wind will not actually work very well on him. It's actually. Let me look at the stat variances. Yeah, it's very bad on fire. What that means is you only do 1/4 damage if you have wind elemental, and that means he'll do full damage. The Saurian will do full damage if you're wind elemental, so we actually don't want to turn into wind elemental while fighting this guy. And for Sylph, you may want to have her just defend, just in case he smacks her. So, because defense will reduce the damage by, I believe, half. I'll have to double check on that, but yeah, if you. Red is fire is the worst element to fight against wind. On that, wind is also will do half damage to other wind elementals, and then if you're fighting earth or water elementals, you'll actually do full damage to them. Weirdly enough, so. But anyway, ow. Luckily, it's not that bad of damage. I'm not gonna say their dialogue every time because obviously it's random. So. Usually they'll just say, oh, is that the best you can do? And stuff like that, so. Most of their early battles are going to be pretty easy. So, Tifa gained a level. 11 HP, 6 MP, 2 strength. Strength is affected by, your damage is based off your equipment and your strength stat. Your defense is based off your equipment and your endurance stat. Intelligence affects your magic potential. And agility affects, like, when you take your turn. Tifa learns the heal spell, so that'll heal us for a little bit of extra defense, so we'll probably be using that quite often in this dungeon here. Now, as you can see, oh, geez. Anyway, as you can see, Sylph, if you looked at her, she actually gains her HP and MP, because, they got a first turn on us. Spirits will auto-heal their HP and MP throughout through the dungeon, so if you're just walking around, they'll... Yeah, we want to cast this since we're fighting neutral element or man element. I'm just going to call it man element because I find that funny. Actually, technically, since since it's easy to kill slimes, I probably didn't need to change my tribute to... Yeah, look at the damage. It's a lot more than if we were just... I mean, yeah, I could one-shot them already, but... Oh, yeah, we got a new enemy here, Pilferers. Pilferers are obviously man element. We're actually finding these guys a little sooner. Usually we're... Well, I guess we can find them later on in the dungeon or whatever. But anyway, they are... they drop 3 experience, 2 gold, and their HP can also fluctuate as well, depending on when you fight them and everything. I'm just gonna defend with her. Ow. But yeah, usually Pilfer can get anywhere from like 5 to 10 HP of damage. Alright, we're about to find our first treasure. Yeah, treasure in this game, unless you run into it in the wall, you're not going to see it ahead of time. So it kind of behooves you to... Well, I already know where all the treasure is, but it behooves you to almost run into certain dead ends just to see if there's a treasure chest there. But I'm going to show you where all the treasure chest is. Now, one of the tricks you can do to... if you're worried about your Sylvan companion about running out of HP or you're low on MP, what you can do is any area that has a chest on it, well, you will never get encountered by enemies while there, even if you're not facing the treasure chest. So you can just keep spinning around over and over and over again until your spirit gets their full HP back. So if you're in a dangerous situation in a dungeon, that might be something to consider if you know where a treasure chest is. But I don't need it, but that's something I'll tell you, or that I let you know about. So anyway, if we open up this chest, so we look, and we get a silver flask for our efforts there, so... Alright, let's look at our inventory here. So, yeah, we got items and cards. Yeah, silver flask will restore a bit of your MP when used as an item. So, I don't think I'll have to use it in this dungeon, but maybe on Tifa if it really came down to it. Alright, so we got another treasure we can find, which is going to be over this way. When battles start taking longer, I'll eventually start editing them out. But it depends on... Because I think I've shown everything... Well, not all the enemies. Later on in the temple we found it. Anyway, there's another one here. Look. We get some herbs. Herbs heal, I believe, 80 HP, if I remember correctly. Yeah, herbs. Wait, didn't we get a herb? Anyway, it restores some HP. I believe it's 80. I'll have to double check. That's one of those things I don't... Off the top of my head, I'd have to look it up, so... But I might do that between editing. I usually tend to do that during editing scenes where, like, if I'm cutting out a battle, I look that stuff up while I'm recording, so... Alright, let's go down all the way down this way. Oh, got more goblins here, so yeah, just fight them. Like I said, most early battles I can just spam A to win. It gets harder later on. Oh yeah, in this game, Rook's getting into level. 14 HP, 5 MP, 5 strength, 3 endurance, 4 intelligence, 4 agility. And we earn heal 2 for Rooks there, so that heals quite a bit of HP. Man, we can one-shot most of these creatures, so... But yeah, this game has a really high encounter rate. So be prepared for that. So I might, depending on where I'm at, I might do a lot of editing. But like I said, right now, not so bad. I like the little animations on the monsters when they attack you. I wouldn't say... I'm trying to think of what really would be a really good dungeon crawler for people to play for the first time. I mean, Arcana isn't bad for that, but I don't know if I'd really call this a player's first dungeon crawler. That's tough. Most dungeon crawler RPGs tend to be a bit difficult because of just the mechanic of being stuck in a first-person mode in the dungeon and stuff like that. Anyway, if we get here, we get 300 gold. All right. Now let's make our way back so we can get more treasure. We gotta turn. Yeah, just remember if you get just remember if you get turned around to turn back around. Otherwise, you'll get tricked. Or because sometimes people will like lose track of themselves if they get turned around. So, Tifa gained a little 12 HP, 6 MP, 3 strength, 2 endurance, 4 intelligence, 3 agility. I'll try to go through those faster because I know a lot of people don't care when I go over the details, stuff like that. Luckily, the battles are pretty quick, even with large groups, because the AI doesn't go too crazy, confusing at times. And really, the strategy... Whoops, I meant to defend with her, but really... Yeah, and sometimes some characters will get their turns pretty quick back-to-back, depending on the situation. But... Man. I could use one. I'm just gonna defend. I could use a win card if I really wanted to. Maybe I should have, just because there's so many enemies here. But yeah, I'll remember that in the future though. That's why I bought the win cards, just in case we had like super big groups going on. I would change the tribute to win, but since we can finish these guys off in one shot, actually it would reduce the damage they do to us. Oh well. Yeah, another reason you might want to, they'll reduce the damage that's done to you. Hey, rooks gain 16 HP, 3 MP, 4 strength, 3 endurance, 1 intelligence, 2 agility. Yeah, I forget that your defenses were increased against certain monsters too. It's a bad habit where I don't, when I think about that type of stuff, I'm just, it's one of those things you think after the fact. If the enemy's about to die, then I'm not gonna do that, but. I should have done it with that big group, you know, for example. Oh well. Yeah, see how much less damage they do when you cast the element spell? I just gotta remember to do that. It's a bad habit of mine. Sometimes I'll get into, sometimes I'll get into press A to win mode on these early, at least these early levels anyway. Yeah, but yeah, get used to random encounters like almost every other step, or at least it feels like that sometimes. Oh, and if I don't go a specific way, it means it's a dead end. So. Yeah, so far, so good. Yeah, sometimes the game lays off. It's not as bad as like the Dragon Quest games, at least the early ones anyway. But it can get pretty bad. And this is Super Nintendo. It's when games start getting a little bit easier, but not by much. It's not as harsh as like you know, some of the other games. Man, we get a sleeping bag here. Oops. Nope, don't want to show that off. Yeah, it's in our item inventory there. Yeah, if you use it, and it basically gives you this end condition, or it's like an end. It completely heals you completely. So you might want to save that for a rainy day, just in case you get into a. I just like smack it into the wall. Bam! Have you ever smacked yourself into a wall by accident because you weren't paying attention? I have. It's not fun. Change tribute to wind. Yeah, might as well, since everything's earth there. Now, it will become, obviously, the only really the only really complicated part about this first section of the dungeon is the Saurians, which are fire elemental, so they threw a loop. Later on, there will be more loops thrown at you for challenge, but for the beginning part, it's not so bad. Because it's getting you used to the game. It's like Shin Megami Tensei. It starts out at the beginning being pretty, you get standard enemies, no weird combinations, but then later on you'll get some pretty interesting combinations, kind of like later Dragon Quest games. Oh, even the Sylph can kill a orc. Oh yeah, the Sylph's power is based off of Rooks' conditions and stuff like that. So when Rooks gain certain levels, Sylph will gain abilities based off that, because he's the card master. He knows the info. Oh yeah, and if you fight, if you fight, do we have a new enemy here, or is that the Pilfers again? Oh, Thieves, okay. Thieves are a little bit different. They're man element, obviously. They have 3 experience drop, 5 gold, and their HP varies. It can be anywhere from 5 to more than 8 on their attack. An element doesn't really affect them too much because they're neutral, so you can change to whatever. But I'll change the tribute anyway, just because of the Hound. The Hound! Yeah, see how I don't really have to, at least in the first dungeon, I don't really have to worry about, no, yeah, I'll just defend with you. I actually kind of like leaving the Sylph up where she is, just because she can be kind of a meat shield, because she can heal herself automatically. Anyway, Tifa gains 14 HP, 3 MP, 1 strength, 2 endurance, 2 intelligence, 1... And she learns Paralyze. Ooh. Yeah, what that does is it's a spell that can paralyze a creature, which means they'll lose their turn. Let's see. Yeah, let's go. Actually, do I want to go and heal right now? No, I think it's costly, as you can see there. Magic in this game is very costly. So it's almost better to, at least for like Rooks is concerned, if you can get a magic card that does something similar, it's almost better to do that instead. But anyway. Sorry, I was just going back to my map here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh isn't like, okay, we're gonna fight you guys. Ah, she can kill a slime by herself. Don't expect the spirits to be doing most of the damage via physically. They're physical. Most spirits' physical attack is terrible. But anyway, here we get 500 gold. We'll definitely spend that later. Okay, we're almost done with the first half of this dungeon. Oh, there's more. These dungeons can get long. It's all about, well, like a lot of things, it's all about utilizing your resources and, oh, whoops, no, I didn't want, I'm sorry. I didn't want to go there. My bad. Oops. Oh, no, she does enough damage, she can even kill a slime in the back. Nice. Yeah, see, this is why I didn't buy armor. As you can see, it's really not, 26 HP, 1 MP, 3 strength, 5 endurance, 2 intelligence, 4 agility. Yeah, that's why I didn't buy armor, because in this first dungeon, it's really not a big deal. As you can see, because they're all the same element, there's ways for me to reduce, probably will heal after this. Just because she's in the red. But yeah, I usually don't want enemies or allies in the red. Yeah, I meant to wait till this turn. Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, let's go and heal. I mean, I could use herbs, but I think we'll be fine. Yeah, heal 1 on herself. And she heals 84 HP. Very nice. Yeah, I think heal 2, if I remember, heals like 120 HP, so it's a little overkill for rooks. But anyway, if we step down here, we fight a boss monster. Oh no! Yeah, I love the boss music in the game. We fight the Stone Guardian. What, we're fighting golems already? Oh dear. The Stone Guardian drops 15 experience, 100 gold, and has his HP can vary from 221 to 229 experience, and he is, as you can see, he's Earth Elemental, as you can see on the thing there. So yeah, I really love the boss music in this game. So, but yeah, you definitely want to, well, obviously attack him. There's really not much complication to him. Just change your element to Earth Elemental, or Wind Elemental, so you won't be hit by him with as much damage. And then you want to block with yourself. And I like how the enemies have like an attack animation. Like they have attack animation, they also have a hit. Ouch! Oh, that hit her pretty hard, didn't it? Yeah, defend. Really no reason for her to attack. Can you hit her instead, please? She's the meat shield. Yeah, there's really not much challenge this guy. Yeah, just attack until he's dead. And that's it. Yeah, all our bosses, there's not really going to be any extra dialogue for it. It's just fight him, and then you go on to the next location. So, I mean, obviously there are story bosses, but this dungeon has 2 bosses. So, all right, on to floor 2. All right. Yeah, it's all about managing your resources and knowing when to come in. Usually I'll be able to do most dungeons in the first go, but that kind of depends on the situation. Like if I get crit or if I get status afflicted, stuff like that. Saurians will now more likely appear during this section of the dungeon. The fact that I fought him in the first section is kind of surprising, actually. Oh, we got new enemies here, lupuses. Sorry, they're a different creature. Yeah, the second floor has a whole new set of enemies that you fight. So, like the slimes will be slightly different. Not by much, but they'll be slightly different. Ouch, getting a lot of turns in. Lupuses have 5 experience, 30 gold, and they can have anywhere from like 18 to 20 HP, and that can still vary. You know, like it's kind of in that range. Oh, he dodged. How? Well, he just did. Yeah. But yeah, we're already getting set with a whole new set of enemies here, so. Oh, yeah, okay. No, okay, never mind. I almost lost my place there for a second. Okay, this one, next one. This one's pretty straightforward. Not a whole lot of complicated. Like I said, any other path I don't go towards is just dead ends. Okay. Oh, we got a new enemy here. Gurgians. Or Gurgians? But anyway, these are the first enemy in the game that can cast spells themselves, lightning 1. Most enemies in the game can only do like one thing, and that's it. So most of them, if they can cast a spell, it's like, that's it. There's no super complication to this at all. So, yeah, he's gonna cast lightning 1 on us. So it would, if we were so it does half damage to wind elemental attacks. Okay. Okay, Tifa. You can start getting better now. But yeah, Saurians have 6 experience, 15 gold. They can have anywhere from greater than 6 HP to less than 15 HP, relatively. Now we are going to do less damage against the Gurjin because of him being lightning elemental as well, but that's better than getting smacked for full damage every time by his lightning spell. Do I want to heal with her again, Tifa? Or do I want to use an item? I think we'll hold off a bit. They're not doing too much more damage to me. But... let's see. Oh, did I get turned around? Nuts. Wait. No. Okay. I didn't get turned around, did I? Yeah, and you get some weird combination. I hope I didn't get turned around because I was paying attention to my my notes. Tifa. There we go. Oh yeah, when an enemy attacks, usually it means they either get hit really hard or they have or they get crit or something like that, you know. Alright, Tifa gained a level, 24 HP, 1 MP, 2 strength, 1 endurance, 4 intelligence, 3. And she learns the flee ability. Running in this game is actually really hard, so there was a spell I forgot to show off, or a card you could buy called fog cards, and they allow you to run from battle. Okay, should be this one. Oh, we got a new enemy here. No, I went by too fast on it. Lizards. They have 5 gold, 5 experience. They have 20 HP, and they are red elemental. Well, obvious. I don't have to say what their element there are, because you know. I'll save that for Rooks to hit with him. Ow! Almost one-shot him. I wonder if she can finish him off. Haha! Tifa, what's wrong with you? Everything keeps dodging you for some weird reason. Okay. Now, there's quite a few treasures down this way. Let's see. Probably, yeah, I'll just make a loop on this one. Okay, one down here. Uh-oh. Whoa, that's a big group right there. Okay, let's go and use, since we got a new enemy here, Gels, here. So what I want to do is well, I'm going to hit them, but I also want to use a magic card on them because this is a pretty large group of enemies. Gel, are you gelling? Hey, gelling like a felon? No. 2 experience, 7 gold, and they have 6 HP, and they are red elemental. And I'll show you how items work. I still want to attack him if I can. Okay, when it gets to Rook's turn, I'll show off... ow. I'll show off magic cards. Ow, we're getting smacked here. Ouch. Yeah, no reason to do... okay, so how cards work is you show card, and then you show a card, and you can choose how many you want to use. You can use up to 3. I'm just going to use 1, and what that does, it hits everyone with that element. Yeah, look at that. Nice. Yeah, boy. Alright, Rook's power gains up. HP 1 by 10, MP by 5, Strength 4, 2 Endurance, 3 Intelligence, 1 Agility, and we left the master the Attack Impair ability, or spell. Let me look at that off. So, Attack Impair lowers the strength of your enemy's attacks. I don't use that all the time, but there are situations to occur, like maybe later dungeons, stuff like that. So, anyway, we get a treasure here. We get the return ring. Alright, let's look at that. Actually, I think that's under... There we go. You can go back to town in an instant when you use it. So if you're in danger, like right now, it'd probably be something to consider. I'm trying to think if I want to go and use my herbs on me, since... I think I'll be fine. The first dungeon, it's not super bad. Like I said, the enemies aren't hitting me that badly. Nice. Oh, whoops. Didn't mean to attack with her. Oh well. It's force of habit. Sometimes I just have to go, I'll physically attack with you. Like I said, it's the press A to win type of button. So, alright, here we get another sleeping bag. Use that to heal yourself. I usually save those for boss encounters when I know where they're at, which I do tend to know where they're at, because it's pretty obvious usually. Sometimes some bosses will pop up like a gosh darn jack-in-the-box, but for the most part you can kind of tell when a boss is going to appear. But anyway, here we get another silver flask for your MP. Oops, didn't mean to do that. I hate making extra movement when I don't need to, because you can get attacked by every little turn in this game. Yeah, this one loops around. Alright, more enemies. Yeah, I do like how they have a dialogue if you dodge or crit or whatever. Ow. At this point, no. Yeah, I'll probably have to heal with oops. Whatever. I should just cast a change. Well, I guess it's too late now. So. Yeah, let's go and heal. Let me look at your stats before I, Yeah, heal 2 actually might be worth it for this one. Yeah, heal 100, so that'll heal us completely, so... Alright, let's go down this way. Whoa! Holy crap! Yeah, this is why... Yeah, I told you that enemies groups can get huge. Ah, holy crap. Yeah, I heard Sylv a lot because she's wind elemental, so if you fight red elementals... Actually, another thing... Actually, let me get to Rook's turn and I'll show you. If you're worried about Sylv taking too much damage, you can actually use the call condition from Rooks, and that'll take her out of the... that'll remove her from your active party line, and you just call and it'll remove her, and so that's one way to just keep her out of the... if you're worried about that, but I'm going to use a card, another water card on him. Okay, how does it miss a gel? Okay. I actually don't know how the... It's based off intelligence. There is a small chance for enemies to not get hit by your spells, which, you know, it's weird that that's a thing, but it is, so. But yeah, luckily these guys aren't too bad. But yeah, in the future, actually, when we get more spirits, I would just probably swap out... Spoilers, we're going to get more spirits. But anyway, here we get some herbs. Let's see, I think we're... Yeah. I tend to save those for later, because this first dungeon is not so bad. Okay, I can't do anything with this one. Well, actually, I could use a wind card. Oh, yeah, I forgot she's weak on HP right now. Might heal with her on herself. Ow. I'll save that for next turn, then. Alright, change the tribute. And I just saved myself damage from the everyone else. I forgot what the percentage is on based off intelligence, like what makes you dodge a spell and stuff like that. It's something like, yeah, I'll have to look it up. Most people haven't. This is one of those games that, yeah, people talk about, but it's not one of those that's been like hacked to death like some older games are. You know what I mean? Should probably not do any damage. Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, I'm gonna heal Tifa after this. She's getting pretty close. Alright, Tifa gained power, 8 HP, 6 MP, 2 strength, 2 endurance, 3 intelligence, 4 agility. Boink! Yeah, it's not a ton of HP, like I said, it's only 80, so... Are you strong? Nope, you're still not strong enough to one-shot him. Oh well. Bye-bye, lupus. I'm not gonna get lupus unless we're watching an episode of House. Then everyone has lupus, apparently, or they think they have lupus every time. I think they even made fun of that at one point, that every episode they kept saying that someone had lupus. And I'm like, it's not lupus. I only watched a couple episodes of that show, but it was entertaining just every time they said the guy had lupus or whatever. I'm like, uh-huh, do you guys even know what that is? So, wait, did I? No, I didn't grab that, did I? Yeah, you can back up like that. I think you could one-shot. Nope, not quite. You need 20 HP for that. May use some herbs, maybe. Then again, HP, or sorry, HP. Was it that one? No, it was the first guy. Why did I do that? Anyway. Tifa? I thought you were supposed to be good at fighting stuff. Oh wait, no, that's a different version of you. Oh, what the heck, Tifa? I don't remember you missing that much when I play tested. Jeez. All right, heal. Or sorry, get 500 gold there. We're almost done with the dungeon. Whoop. We wouldn't have been attacked anyway because there was a treasure square. So Saurians in that. I guess I could be chopping out these battles, but I do like the extra animations, like the sturgeon like sticking out his tongue, type of thing. Yeah, I might just end up using a herb card on her. We'll see what happens though. Hey, Rook's power can increase 20 HP, 7 MP, 5 strength, 3 endurance, 2 intelligence, 2 agility, and still finally learns a spell, agility or lightning 1, which allows you to cast lightning on all the monsters on the field. So unfortunately, if it's a mixture of cards, it's just gonna hit everyone. Obviously, you might miss if their intelligence is high enough. I'll show it off, even though it's not gonna do much damage. It's gonna do no damage to the lizard, by the way, because they're fire elemental. I just wanted to show off how that spell. I mean, we've seen lightning before, but I just wanted to show it off. But yeah, if you're gonna get most damage from your spirits, you're gonna mainly use magic, because after a certain point, after a certain point, spirits just won't be able to do anything physically. It'll be so pitiful. It's already pitiful already. Seriously, game? Nah, like I said, this is just one of those games you just expect counters to pop up. Is that the best you can do? Oh, you know, I could use lightning. Nah. It's better to do wind elemental, just for resistances and stuff like that. Yeah, she gets her turn again. Agility is one of those things I still haven't really figured out in this game in terms of like who takes their turn, because sometimes a character will get their turn like instantly, like right after the fact, you know. All right, we want to head down. Oh, another enemy. Ow. What is up with Tifa missing all the time? I do not remember her missing this often. I hate missing, by the way. It is really annoying. Let's see. So that's the first two. Jimmy Christmas. Yeah, I have to expect that. All right, change the tribute. I think, yeah, in later dungeons, I'm definitely going to be editing out more battles, especially if they're going to take this long. First episode, I don't mind. Because like I said, it doesn't take that long for me to do this. Okay, this is the second one. Third. Okay, it's this one I want to go over. Yeah, most of the dungeons don't really get that complicated. Ooh, Tifa gained 18 HP, 8 MP, 1 strength, 2 endurance, 5 intelligence, and 2. And she gets the Attribute 1 spell. Take a look at that bad boy. Yeah, paralyze, selected enemy, flee, retreat to regroup. So you basically man, 32 8 MP just to cast flee. I'd rather buy a fog card, which I should have bought one, but I didn't have the money. Anyway, Attribute 1, effective against earth and water spell. Alright. Yeah, I'll probably cast or use herbs on her next turn. Or not next turn, after the battle. Why'd I do that? Take that, you fiend! And I don't have enough MP for another spell, so we'll use some herbs on him, on her, I mean. Yeah, it's the same as heal 1, basically. Alright, and at the end of this hallway here, well, that's not what I was expecting, but, you know. She still can't one-shot him. Yeah, might as well be a clean enemy. Oh, well, alright. I should be good on Did we fight all the enemies in this dungeon? No, there's one enemy we never fought. Huh. Surprised we didn't run across him. You could run across an ogre here. An ogre! But we never did. He's got 5 HP, or sorry, 5 HP. 5 experience, 12 gold, and he can have about 12 HP, and he's blue elemental. I believe he's blue anyway. But anyway, okay. But yeah, we didn't run across him, so okay. I'm trying to think if my HP is good enough for this part. I think... Do I want to use a silver flask for healing? I think I'll be fine. I mean, this guy hits a little hard, but it's not that crazy. Nah, I think we'll be fine. 4? Really? Right before the boss? Yeah, we were about to fight a boss, by the way. Hey, we can finally one-shot that guy. Yay, alright. But anyway, as we enter the boss battle against the Iron Guardian this time. Ooh. Ow. But yeah, this guy is Earth Elemental as well. He has 30, he drops 30 experience, 100 gold, and his HP can be anywhere from 264 to 303 HP. So there's a random variable involved there. So, alright, just really not much we can do. Just attack him. And we need to change Earth Elemental. Or Wind Elemental, sorry. And then we'll cast Lightning on him since we have the MP for it. You might want to use the rest of your cards here if you want, since they're not that expensive to show off. So, do I want to use wind cards here or save them? They only cost 10 gold. Yeah, let's show it off. Boom! Yeah, look at that. Okay, whatever. Ah, it missed. Yeah, it does. I didn't need to use 3 win cards on him because he's not that hard, but I just wanted to show it off. Oh, whoops! I didn't mean to attack. Yeah, her spells aren't strong enough really against the Iron Guardian, so far so good. We gained a decent amount of experience, so you might want to really for this battle you might want to just defend with Sylph, but she's not taking that much damage. Yeah, see, it's reasonable. And he's defeated. All right. Enemies do not appear after this point, so you don't have to worry about getting attacked anymore because we're done with this dungeon. Now we just have to make it to the end. Now, not too bad of a dungeon. It does get harder from here, but this is your starting dungeon, so you gotta ease into this game. So, all right, let's get out of here. What awaits us through the door? What the? Hey, ouch! Something stung me. Did the door sting you? That's weird. That's strange. There's nothing here that could sting you. Why are you looking away from us there, Tifa? Nah, it's probably nothing. I must have imagined it. How do you imagine being... Actually, there is times where I've been randomly hit by something. Who's there? Oh, it's you. Are you with Gaudion? No, we... Silence! What the? Tifa, what are you doing? What's going on here? Why are you attacking them? They look like humans. They never attacked us. What are you doing? You can use lightning? That's not lightning. What is it? Oh, it's... Well, what? Okay, I think it's a bug because she's supposed to be cast paralyzed, but it said lightning for some weird reason. But yeah, weird. Anyway, the enemy... Why'd you kill that dwarf and sorcerer? They didn't attack us. What's wrong with you? What the? Tifa? I humbly accept this sword. That sword card? Rooks, perhaps you should stop her or hold her down or something like that? She typed innocence, I think. Wait a minute, is it true these people can control evil spirits? What is it about this sword? Ah! Why'd your eyes turn red all of a sudden, Tifa? Are you evil? I came here to win this sword. What? Nani? First, let me explain. Ariel, what are you doing here? Ariel, how long have you been here? What do you mean? I know how to control Rimzala, the evil empress. This Rimzala? In this world, there are evil spirits that we battle with constantly. Unless someone comes forth to defeat them, the conflict will never end. We want to create a peaceful land, where people of all countries can live together in peace. In order to do that, we're going to need all the strength we can muster. We'll have to sway our people towards that end. So we're going to need this sword to control Rimzala. Is that why you're helping Galneon? Oh yeah, didn't his father also help Galneon? So I guess the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, huh? Oh, you knew about that. How about it, Rooks? Can we count on your help? This is well, obviously you should say no. You know what happens if I say yes? Yeah, I'll join you. Is it okay, really? Good, but what? There's one thing I'm concerned about. There's one obstacle to this plan. What's that? His ability is exactly the opposite of the evil Empress Rimzala's ability. The obstacle is you, Rooks. Yeah, there's nothing good to the attacking no matter if you say no or yes, so. Yeah, it's a, but thou must fight. What the? What? I can't move. That sting? I stung you when we entered this room. You witch! It's starting to take effect. Nuts. Save your strength. Uh-oh. Are we hosed? Oh, no! What? 140 damage? But you're man element. That shouldn't have done that much damage. Ah, crap. Whatever shall we do? Will we survive? Oh, there's nothing that's gonna happen. We won't be able to survive. Well, thanks for playing, give it up, Rooks. Oh, I love his angry expression there. Yeah, I guess thanks for playing Arcana, I guess. Give it up, Rooks. What will happen? Deus Ex Machina? Deus Ex Machina. It's dangerous. The sorcerer casts a spell to summon the fires. Holy crap! That's in-game spell magic, by the way. Whoa! Deus Ex Machina! Anyway, Ariel and Tifa take on flight. An obstacle is entered here. We'll meet again if you let... An obstacle? I mean, I guess it's an obstacle, so maybe a threat? That might be a mistranslation. Like I said, with her casting lightning and paralyzing is kind of the same situation there, so... Oh no! But, uh-oh. Well, we're kind of done for, aren't we? What will happen? Find out next time in the next episode of Arcana.